Hello everybody, Retrobeard here. It's time for Saturday's Q&A. The first question is from Henrik Halmiddle, and he asks, what are my opinions on the Mandela effect and things such as parallel universes? Now, Henrik, that's a pretty big and good question. I'll answer it as best as I can with what comes to my brain. How do I say this? I'm open to just about anything, you know, possibilities and these sort of things. I'm not going to say I'm a firm believer in it, but I certainly think certain things happen and occur or may have occurred that can't easily be explained. You know, like as a child, I never remember, I know this is a bit of a common one, but I never remember C-3PO having a silver leg. I remember he was all gold, and now he's got a silver leg. Was that a parallel universe from the Mandela effect, or is that simply low definition CRT TVs hiding imperfections that our new HD TVs and Blu-rays and things show out? I don't know. But yeah, and I suppose we are perhaps more disjointed from the world and disconnected than we used to be. But once again, is that a parallel universe where changes have been made? Maybe it's the Hadron Collider, that massive machine that's about 15 miles plus long, that no one seems to quite know what it does. Maybe when changes are made to the past, some people adjust to it, maybe some people don't adjust to it and they feel disconnected, disjointed, like they don't belong. I mean, I think more people feel that way now than ever before. But is it just the digital, is it rather than something paranormal, is it just the digital world, how disconnected we are? We're connected to machines more than ever and to each other on the internet, but we're not connected as people as much as we used to be. So I don't know if it's something rational or something extraordinary like that. I would say I don't fully believe or disbelieve something until I've got irrefutable facts and I've seen it myself. And this topic is one of those cases. I certainly know something has gone very wrong and something isn't right. And I wouldn't think something like the Mandela effect or parallel universes is impossible. Well, parallel universes, many physicists and people like that do believe they're real. I mean, that could even explain ghosts. Perhaps ghosts aren't ghosts. Perhaps they're just echoes from different universes that are running alongside ours. And occasionally, where the veils thin, they cross over. Or maybe it's all a load of rubbish. It's just people talking crap with perfectly explainable reasons. I don't know. I mean, I'm very open-minded though. But I've not got evidence that there are parallel universes, and I don't have evidence that there's not parallel universes. So, you know, that's the best answer I can give. Thanks, Henrik. Awesome question. Next question. Chris Payne asks, will I be adding MAME and arcade games to the Dream Machine? Which by the Dream Machine, Chris means my emulation setup I've got on my laptop right now. He always calls it the Dream Machine, just to make it clear. I will be adding MAME and arcade games to it. It's not top of my list, because I get the feeling it's going to be a massive undertaking with lots of farting around and testing and setbacks, and it will happen for sure, 100%, and it will be absolutely done perfect, and I won't mess about with it. It won't be the last setup that I do, but it's certainly not quite on the list yet. I've got other things to do, like adding to my existing libraries for Saturn and 3DO, and I want to really add more PlayStation 1 and 2 games, more Wii games, a lot more GameCube games, more DS games. I want to also add 3DS emulation pretty soon, because I know Dark Entrax has been talking about that. So, and I want to add Dreamcast. There's not a massive amount of Dreamcast games, but I'd like to add them, so it just adds that bit more content, and possibly, yeah. So and I really must resolve my Sinclair Spectrum issues. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a wired controller, especially for it, because I can't get wireless to work. I'm beating on that one. So yeah, Arcade and MAME and all that family of emulation systems will be coming. As for a time frame, any time from next week to next year. That's the best answer I can give. Great question, though, my friend. Everybody keep the questions coming. Yep. Next question. In fact, the last question. Karaoke Blokey 26 asks, what got me into streaming games? Now, I sort of had a similar question a few weeks ago, I believe, but I like to answer everyone's questions where I can, so I'm going to answer this one as differently to the answer I gave a few weeks ago as I can, because what I was asked before was, I think, in relation to social media in general, where this is specifically about streaming, so I won't... Where do I begin with it? Basically, when I got onto YouTube, I was doing videos. I had an initial quite encouraging start on my first video, over 500 views, which seemed amazing. It still is pretty darn good. I don't get that many often. But then it slowed down. I was putting hours and hours into videos that I was really happy with for the most part, but the views were decreasing every time I was doing a video, and I was looking at the average view times in my analytics, and it was like 2 minutes, 3 minutes of average view time for a video that was taking me perhaps 20 minutes that ran for about 20 minutes. So people clearly weren't engaging with it, which is probably normal, but I felt it was a poor use of my time, which maybe I was wrong, maybe I wasn't. And I started doing recorded playthroughs, and then as my confidence built up, I realised that streaming seemed to be the way forward, because you're actually engaging with people. Although I'm quite a shy person, especially back then, I did it, put myself in the deep end, and the shyness got easier and easier, and obviously it was an evolution of my channel, doing something that people seem to enjoy. I've got a small but amazing audience of people who are engaged, who do pay attention. So it was quite mind-blowing, and I felt it was my thing. It was the direction for the channel, and I still do videos, but obviously streaming, it's nice because it's hands-on. And I've met people on my streaming from all over the world, of different ages. So it was something that I tried in the hopes of building my channel up. And to be honest, before I started streaming, I'd never even watched a stream before. I knew nothing about streaming, so I went into the deep end, not even really knowing what my objective was and what was the point, what was the allure, what was the how do you build it. And then when I got the Super Console X back then, it really pulled people in. Although the Super Console X sort of had its time and I've moved on to bigger and better things, it gave me that foundation and that interest. And yeah, so. And it was during the lockdown as well, when although I was working in some of my jobs I wasn't working in, so I had more free time, and I wanted to use this minor pause, this big pause in my life, this lull, to change my life. And I've certainly done that, and I suppose it's still early days, but yeah. So it was taking a deep breath, dissecting my life, and seeing how I could change it while I was still young enough to change it. And it's been one heck of a journey, my friends. One heck of a journey, but yeah. So I hope that's a sensical answer and it wasn't too much blabber. So yeah, so that's the questions. Thanks, guys. Brilliant questions. Keep them coming, because I'm getting through a lot of the questions now. So and the questions can be absolutely anything. So I'll always answer as best as I can. And if it's something I don't want to go too much into, I'll give a superficial answer. I won't go too deep into it. So. Yeah, I hope everybody has an awesome Saturday. I'll see you all Sunday for the stream, usual time, usual place, 5 PM GMT time in the UK. So take care of yourselves, have a great weekend. Bye for now. This is Retro Beard signing off. See ya.